Welcome, DMVLAX fans, to Dancel Field at Our Lady of Good Counsel High School in Olney, Maryland, for this intriguing WCAC versus IEC matchup. This is the DMVLAX Game of the Week, presented by the Electrical Alliance, featuring the number 8 ranked Good Counsel Falcons hosting the number 4 ranked Georgetown Prep Little Hoyas. I'm Cabo Maddox, announcing for our 7th DMVLAX season of varsity boys lacrosse media coverage and DMVLAX Games of the Week. Thank you very much for watching this Madlax Media live stream production. Joining me today, once again, back in the saddle, providing expert analysis, is Matt Rienzo. Matt graduated from Gonzaga in '93 and Georgetown University in '97. He was a captain in all WCAC selection at Gonzaga and a captain and All-American defenseman at Georgetown. Matt has coached at the Division I level, including 10 years at Georgetown, in addition to 6 years as the Madlax DC Dogs 2023 head coach, one of the best club teams ever assembled. Thanks for joining me today, Matt.
It's great to be here tonight, Cabo. We got a great one on hand, don't we?
Yes, sir. It's nice to have you back. Our partnership is as strong as ever.
That's right. You know, this is going to be a great matchup between WCAC and IEC cross-conference rivals, and it begins tonight in earnest between these two teams because Good Counsel is a program on the rise. Under the leadership of head coach Dane Smith, Georgetown Prep is obviously a perennial power in the area and nationally, who lives and dies with the speed of Noah Hahn and the brawn of Wyatt Bowman at the midfield. So tonight we'll see, if it's out with the old and in with the new, or if the tradition can overcome the newcomer here.
Totally. And interestingly, this is the first meeting between these teams that we could find checking back to 2017.
And it makes sense that they play each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would
crosstown rivals
you would think
budding
that,
here.
Yeah, both being in Montgomery County and both competing for similar student athletes that they will play for years to come now. Good Counsel is the new kid on the block, like you said, a team on the rise with the realistic goal to become one of the top programs in the DMV and be ranked nationally. Prep is the old guard, having achieved both being number 1 in the DMV and number 4 ranking nationally in 2023. So a DMV rivalry potentially is officially starting here today, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight. And, if Good Counsel is able to get this win, it could be a real statement for their program. And Georgetown Prep just needs to fend them off and keep winning games after that big overtime win against Gonzaga a couple games ago in St. Albans last game. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Good Counsel is 7-3 so far this year. They have one quality win over Paul VI, who's number 8 ranked, 13-6 last week. Prep is 4-6, but don't let the record fool you. They have many quality wins, including over Gonzaga, who's number 5, Gilman, and St. Mary's. And their losses, 5 out of their 6 losses are to top-ranked teams nationally.
Yeah, they play a tough national schedule, so we'll see if that pays dividends for them today.
Good Counsel head coach is Dane Smith in his 3rd season. His assistant coaches are Hans Hurdle, Sean Wright, Sebastian Luley, and Jace Buchek. Scott Urich is in his 9th season. His assistant coaches are Roger Colbert, Chris Hampton, Charlie Hornick Jr., Kevin Murphy, and Wayne Olin. Both teams are loaded with all DMV players and college commits. In fact, there's 10 on Prep and 7 on Good Counsel. We will talk about that, but there are many more imminent commitments coming. If you're watching us on YouTube, on a computer, you can scroll down and find both rosters in the description below. Now let's get right to the sport automotive players to watch for Good Counsel. First, Drew DeMarias, the junior midfield, first team preseason all DMV selection, a Maryland commit. Talk about him briefly.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a beast at the midfield, two-handed. He can dodge and shoot. Really great at producing his own shot with either hand, so look for him to be a horse at the midfield today.
Dylan Cruz, the electric junior midfielder, second team preseason All-DMV, a Towson commit. He's one of the hardest kids to guard on their team. You will see what I mean shortly. And Will Mackey, the junior attack, preseason second team as well, the Yale commit, the quarterback of the offense, leads the team in assists.
He's really going to be the guy that they'll look to get the ball to at X to really jumpstart the offense for Good Counsel.
And then the 4th guy finally is Ben Penzi, the freshman goalie, preseason honorable mention all DMV. He doesn't look like a freshman out there, Matt.
There's 2 freshman goalies starting today. For Georgetown Prep, we've got Keith Chari, talented freshman, so it's going to be a great battle in the goal today.
And then sport automotive players to watch for Georgetown Prep. First, Noah Hahn, The best offensive player, a junior, a Princeton commit, and a first-team preseason All-DMV player.
He's an electric player, just really hard to guard. Even the best defensemen in the country have a hard time guarding him. He's going to get a couple goals. It's just a matter of does he get 4 or 5 or not.
Had an incredible game last week against Gonzaga, scored a hat trick, including an unbelievable backhand goal to tie it up with a few minutes ago. Then Patrick Kelly, the senior, one of the best all-around defenders in the area, committed to Michigan.
Yeah, Patrick Kelly's a bruiser, senior leader on defense that's loaded with juniors otherwise. So look for him to have a big, impactful game today.
And then the monster Wyatt Bowman, the senior midfielder, committed to Syracuse to play football, a second-team lacrosse. Could play lacrosse pretty much anywhere, but he's decided to go to Syracuse to play football, Matt.
He's a really fun player to watch. He's a bruiser at the midfield, and, he split 3 guys to overtake and win the Gonzaga game in overtime last week. So look for a big game from him today. Really, he's a key to the Georgetown Prep offense.
And then finally, Rex Adamson, the electric sophomore, preseason honorable mention All-DMV player.
Yeah, like you said, he's an electric player. He's a really good shooter. He's got good shake to his game. So he's only a sophomore, but he's done big things with 2 goals against Gonzaga last week. He's a scorer. He's going to be a highly recruited guy, so look for him out there today for sure.
Quickly, I'll go through the starting lineup as they walk out there. For Prep on attack, Noah Hahn, Rex Adamson, and Braden Lutz. At midfield, Brendan Gallagher, the Fairfield commit, Joe Perry, and Wyatt Bowman. We'll talk about these guys a lot throughout the game. On defense at close, Patrick Kelly, Jason Lane, and Luke McGlone, the Villanova commit. At faceoff is Cole Raposo, the Army commit, and in goal is Keith Cheery. On Good Counsel of attack is Will Mackey, Chase Spar, and Jake Bendler. At midfield is DeMarinis, Dylan Cruz, and Jake Hampton, the Drexel. That's one of the better midfield groups, first lines in the area. Defense, Darian Judd, Declan Devine, Cooper Sinclair. Longsick midi is Brendan Stanislav. And Fogo is Hunter Manning. We got a good matchup at the faceoff. He's committed to Richmond, and they're about to get it going right now. And in goal is Ben Penzi. On the wing is Jack Mundy for Prep, and Darian Judd for Good Counsel. False start. Picked up Good Counsel. Out comes the first midfield group for Good Counsel. It is impressive. Jack Hampton, the Drexel commit, with the ball, number 1. 28, Drew DeMarinis. Big strong. And then 22, Dylan Cruz. Looks like Cruz has a short stick. This is going to be a problem for Prep all night. He gets right by him, draws a slide, kicks it inside, shot off the pipe.
Big save by Chari there.
We'll give him a save.
Big save for the freshman to start it off.
But you see what I mean about Cruz? He just broke down the defense immediately. Good ride here by Good Counsel, but picked up by Prep. Fast break, Prep, easy fast break up. Is that Kelly? Kelly whips it wide. Patrick Kelly.
I think that skimmed off the crossbar there. Not a bad shot, but I would have preferred he hit the attackman.
Inbounds here with Hahn, 5, over to 55, Adamson. No, that's Lutz, sorry. Lutz is playing the right side.
First midfield comes out for Georgetown Prep.
Yeah, this is Joe Perry with the ball, the shorty. Very quick. He's got a short stick on him.
He's a really good player, speed player, a good dodger. Look for him tonight.
Back at exit to Hahn. You can see how quick Hahn's feet are. Looks like 19 has drew the assignment. Declan Devine is going to guard him today.
Good feet on that first one by Devine. He was matching Hahn foot for foot there.
Loose ball battle. Let's see who wants it more early on. Who's scrappier? Looks like it's going to be the Falcons. Out comes number 3, Jackson Manning, committed to Catholic. The short stick D midi, a senior. Toughness going down to the Catholic U.
So watch on this next possession if Georgetown Prep's able to cover up inside. I've seen a few of their games this year. They, covering the inside after they slide has been a problem for them, as it is for most defenses. So see if they can fix that on this next possession.
Here's Jack Hampton, same play. Hampton decides to kick it through X, backside to Mackey, inside to DeMarinis. DeMarinis showing why he's going to Maryland right out of the gates. Good ball movement off that dodge.
Really nice ball movement. You saw it's the same set with 3 middies up top. They start that corner midi dodge, and they use that as the kickstarter to jumpstart the offense. So the slide comes, they move the ball. In this case, they moved it behind to X, and then they found a guy floating on the backside. The first possession, when they got that shot and a save, they fed it inside. So a little bit different look with where they moved the ball, but same general offense. And both times had success.
And that came from Mackey at X. Nice showing why he's leading the team in assists. Great little ball movement, quickly out of his stick.
And I would give Dylan Cruz a hockey assist for that one as well. He jump-started the offense, moved it behind.
Yeah, I think it was Hampton.
Oh, it was Hampton.
It was Hampton. Yeah, they're going to long pole DeMarinis, so they're going to Hampton and Cruz are going to have their way, and that's another face-off win. Am I keeping track of those?
I got them for you.
That's 2-0. Good Counsel early. First line coming out 3 times in a row. Gotta love what Dane Smith is doing here. He pedaled down right out of the gates, Matt.
Yeah, he's done a nice job building this program the last few years. They're a formidable opponent, there's no question. For anybody out there in the country, it's a good team for sure. And looking forward to seeing how they put it together today.
Same offense, 3rd time in a row. Now DeMarinis has a short stick. He draws and dumps. He got it out of a stick nicely there. That's good to see him develop his game into dual threat right into the goalie stick, and Chari makes a nice save. Outlet
Second
quickly.
save of the day.
Good lob pass out to Kelly. Kelly can't handle it, so DeMarinis makes it loose, and Cruz picks it up. Cruz gets it out of his stick down to Mackey.
It's a failed clear for Georgetown Prep, one of their keys to the game.
Backside is open. Mackey's got a shorty, and he knows it. Will Mackey, the Yale commit, only a junior. I mean, there's hardly any seniors on this Good Counsel team. They only have 7.
Dylan Barron's on defense here, a sophomore. Coach Scott Urich really likes this defensive midfielder, says he's one of the better D-middies he's had. Frankly, he thinks he could be playing offense as well, but they need him on defense this year. So.
Yeah, he plays two-way for my Madlax 27 team, and he's one of the best middies in the 27 class nationally. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's kind of does a little bit of everything for Georgetown Prep. Georgetown Prep running a little bit of a very soft defense, covering up the inside well.
Is that Lane on the ball there, 28?
A little bit of his own.
Oh,
look.
Great dodge by Cruz. Just what we were talking about in the pregame. This kid is incredibly difficult to guard. It looked like Jason Lane was all over him.
Yeah, you know, Georgetown Prep was in a really soft defense. I don't think they were in a zone or anything, but you know, just weren't really able to keep up with him, and then they slid, and he was able to evade the slide as well.
So that's an unassisted goal by Good Counsel by Dylan Cruz, number 22. Good Counsel is out of the gates hot here at home, hosting the Little Hoyas. Good Counsel's for real. They're showing right away they are not intimidated by the old guard and domination that Prep has put on the DMV in the last 10 years.
You know, Georgetown Prep really only had 1 possession so far. You know, the second that would have been in possession was a shot by Kelly that didn't result in much.
All right, so they're coming out with a second midfield line already. This is Manfreda, and that's Colton McAndrew, the sophomore. He's teammates with Dylan Barron's on the 27 team, Madlax team. Colton McAndrew's brother got hurt. I think he's out for the season.
Yeah, Carter McAndrew broke his collarbone, unfortunately. First line middie for Georgetown Prep, who's out for the season. But his brother Colton got bumped up to the second midfield, so we'll see if he can take advantage.
What's that call? Inside interference, they're going to call something. It's ticky-tack.
Not letting them move inside, evidently.
Wow. I mean, they're just like, you don't see that call very often. It's an inside just chaos when Han's dodging. And we get our first man up opportunity here for Prep. Off-ball interference.
We'll have to see that again on the replay.
Yeah. But you can see what Han does at X. He's just going to dodge you to death until you commit. But was that Divine on him again? Divine looked like he was doing a pretty nice job. But here we go, man up, 3-3 set. Cut into a, looks like a
cutters.
Yes, stays 3-3. And then is that Rex Adamson? No, that's Lutz. Braden Lutz with a step down rip on man up.
Nice design. They just moved the ball intelligently, didn't rush anything, found an open man, stepped down for a goal. Well executed by Georgetown Prep.
Who we giving the assist on that? It was the top right guy. I missed it. We'll get it on the replay. But nice EMO goal there by Prep to make it 2-1. Good Counsel with 7:32 to go. We got to remember to give the time. It's not on the score bug, Matt. So give it any time you want to. 7:32 to go here in the first. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cabell Maddox here with Matt Rienzo, live at Good Counsel in Albany, Maryland. Hunter Manning has come to play. He won the first 2 and he just won his third. 3-0. Good Counsel.
That's going to be a storyline to follow for the rest of the game.
Oh, good ride. This is going to be open. Oh, he couldn't scoop it. No Han. Still scores. Ride goal. Man.
You love a goal off the ride. As a coach, you know, you always want to get a couple of those per game. You want to get a couple transition goals. You want to get a couple goals off the ride. Really well done by Georgetown Prep there to create a little havoc and generate a goal out of it.
2-2, 7:16 to go. I feel like Good Counsel is controlling the face-off X. Let's see if it keeps going here with Manning versus, looks like they're facing off, is that 12? Yeah, it is. They have a new face-off guy, Connor Dirigatis. Am I saying that right? Dirigatis. He just took that face-off.
And they do run two guys.
And won
so
it.
Not overly surprising. You know, they'll use two guys.
And he won it, so maybe you'll see more Connor. Over to Lutz is playing the right side now. Looks like Adamson's going to play the left side. They don't have a natural lefty on 3 attack. They're playing 3 righties.
Yeah, they have 3 righties, so somebody's got to occupy that left spot. Not ideal, especially if you're the guy that has to do it. But now looks like a zone look here from Good Counsel on defense.
Nice call. Like that's what we have you in the booth, the defensive wizard. They will go in and out. Coach Smith told me they're going to mix it up in and out and try to make it confusing for the offense, and that's exactly what it does when you're able to go from man to zone to man to zone. Where's their? There it is. There he is.
Yeah, I mean, Georgetown Prep's just being patient. 30 seconds on the shot clock now. They'll look for seams. They'll look to draw a double and move the ball to a seam where the zone isn't, and then possibly skip the ball. Cutters are always an option. Inside looks are always good.
That was
if you can get them moving a little bit.
That was Wyatt Bowman, the big boy.
Was that a save or no?
Yeah, we'll give that a save for sure. He tipped that. But looks like they're dodging. That's their game plan against this zone. Dodging the corners and then trying to draw 2 and move it. Here it is again.
And they got a little pick action on the ball there, too, to try and generate more action in those seams.
That's a dangerous, that's a danger right there if you're Good Counsel. No one can bury it from 15 yards and out.
We did get a reset shot clock, so 40 seconds on the shot clock.
Up to Lutz, over to Gallagher. Fairfield commit. Still in zone defense. If you're wondering why they're in this spread offense here. Single crease.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy to go zone.
Yeah, it doesn't
take the offense out of their rhythm.
Doesn't look like Prep has multiple. We'll see as the zone goes on, but doesn't look like they're doing more than dodging the corners. Here it is right here. And that's why you do it if you have a good goalie. Ben Penzi, the freshman.
Big save.
He's an outstanding goalie.
That's a good defensive stand there.
I coach him personally on our 28 Madlax team. He is a well put together young man. He has been benching and squatting as much as any senior out there, and he's a goalie. Great athlete, intense.
Love that with a goalie. That's always great.
Yeah.
When your goalie is one of your best athletes, that's when you know you've got a good one.
Yeah. He's going to be a special one. We got another one in the goal for Prep. It's the battle of the freshman goalies, Chari versus Penzi. We'll see who comes out on top. It's very rare.
Extremely rare in varsity lacrosse in this area to have 1 freshman, never mind 2 starting in the game.
Freshmen usually don't even play, period. Just any position, but to have 2. Oh, what a great save by Chari. He comes right back.
Chari just bailed out Patrick Kelly. Patrick Kelly went for a back check there and got beat top side. Chari with the save to bail out the senior there. Nice play by the freshman.
Who was that on? Mackey took that shot? Number 2?
I think so.
Is that who Kelly was on?
I think so.
Ooh, is that delay?
They called them for offsides.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I saw that.
Offsides Prep, not a delay. Offsides Prep.
I don't think they were. I think they were mistaken on that one, but we'll have to take a look.
We'll watch the replay here. We have the benefit of being on a slight delay on our cameras here. We can inform you if we pick up something a little later. Here is Dylan Cruz.
Being deliberate with jump starting the offense.
That's Barron's again on him. Cruz is happy to invert too. Looks like they're going to a new offensive play here. Kelly ready to go.
I think Cruz can probably dodge from every angle.
Whoosh. Draws Kelly on a slide. Quick slide off the mirror. Over to DeMarina's power. That's the bull that Coach Tillman is looking for.
Nice defensive stand there, about 28. Jason Lane.
Yeah, Laner's a good defender.
The lefty.
It's Chase Spar, the sophomore, it's number 0. Over to Cruz. Cruz loses it, scoops it back up. Inside's wide open. Oh, he couldn't get it to him. Errant pass, but man, the look was right. He was wide open.
Really good defensive stand by Prep there.
Parker Lee, the lefty, coming down, showing some play. He looks like he's been moved down to close defense now. Is he playing LSM?
I think he's up at the long stick midi position, rotating through there.
Okay, he's LSM. Out comes 22.
Second midfield for Georgetown Prep.
Manfreda Urick going. He talked about that as one of the keys to victory, which we'll get to. He wanted to use his depth to win this game. Right now.
Yeah, you know, I think he'll run 4 attackmen. I think he'll run 2 midfield lines, not evenly, but you know, maybe 60-40. And the hopes that in the fourth quarter the other team starters are a little more tired and get that edge.
Yeah, but if the game's going to be slow like this, you could run your firsts all game. So that's good strategy by Good Counsel to counter that depth issue. Great save by Penzi. Holy smokes.
Good look.
Another save by Penzi.
Good look at the cage by Manfreda, but unable to knock it home there. That's 4 saves, on the day.
How many does Chari have?
Chari has 3 saves for Georgetown Prep.
These goalies are coming out, showing why they're starting as rookies, and they beat some quality goalies older than them out.
Yeah, and you know, some of the shots are good shots that they're seeing too. They're making good saves.
Oh, good ride there. Who was that?
Really good ride by Noah Hahn.
Hahn up.
There's another potential goal off the ride.
Lutz. Ooh, too much whip in that pocket there, sir.
Lutz couldn't finish it, but that was a good ride.
Great ride by Noah Hahn. He bent his stick. He's looking to come off the field. His stick might be busted.
Good Counsel calls a defensive timeout. They didn't like what they saw. They didn't have the right guys in the game, so the ball went off the end line. They were able to call timeout.
And that was Ryan Talbot. He's been out hamstring or a groin issue, and now he's back, and he's the one who got that assist right there. Well, almost got the assist. Great play in the open field by Talbot, showing good stick skills. All right.
1:41 to go in the first quarter. It's a tie ball game. Good Counsel 2, Georgetown Prep 2.
We're going to thank our sponsors here. First, the Electrical Alliance is our title sponsor for the season. Wired for Growth, the Electrical Alliance, our 2025 DMVLAX Game of the Week title sponsor, is the all-encompassing support system that helps electricians in the DMV secure the highest quality training, employment, wages, and benefits. For career opportunities and contractor partnership, visit electricalalliance.org. Pert Electric is the 2025 title sponsor of our very popular Top 25 weekly rankings that come out every Monday at 6 p.m. Founded in 1992, they're one of the DMV's top electrical contractors and a proud partner in the local building and construction industry. Check them out at perelectric.com, and for more information, be sure to connect with the president of Pert Electric, Scott Pinto, a proud Paul VI and Madlax parent. And they're coming back out here.
Well, this is just what we thought, Cabell. You know, it's a tight ball game getting towards the end of the first quarter. 2-2.
141 to go, by the way.
2 really good teams.
Yeah, 141 to go in the quarter. Excellent game. You're totally right.
Looks like Good Counsel goes back to the zone defense.
It's working so far. They haven't shown any ability to skip past or get any. I mean, Penzi did have to make one hard save. I take that back.
Yeah, that was a good look inside to Manfreda. Good shot from about 9 or 10 yards.
Forced inside there. That's what you want to do in your zone. You frustrate the offense and make forced passes like that.
That's what Good Counsel's hoping for. Georgetown Prep fell right into their hands on that one.
Oh, gosh. That's a deep and tough pass to catch on a bounce. But they get it. Nice pickup there by Will Mackey, senior. He's got to get out of trouble here. Going to play for Coach Shea up at Yale. Maybe Coach Shea's watching. You've got a good one coming. In a couple of years, he's only a junior. And this looks like they're going a little bit more depth here. Oh, no, it's not.
Back to the ones.
Back to the first line. I thought for a second they were going to a twos, but there's been 4 or 5 shifts, and this first midfield. This is
also that, you know, they've been playing a lot of defense with the zone at the other end, so their middies are fresh.
Jack Hampton on Jack Mundy, number 1-on-1.
Yeah,
This is a pure 1-on-1. Number 1 versus number 1 on a 1-on-1.
Yeah, Mundy, Coach Eric really likes him, and Barons. He thinks it's a really good defensive midfield core that they have here at Georgetown Prep.
Holding for 25 seconds to go. That's why they're delaying it. 18 seconds in the shot clock, 22 in the game clock, quarter clock. Jack Hampton gets a step on. Nice athletic move. Outside rip. Still 14 seconds to go. Jake Bendler picks it up. He gives it quickly to Will Mackey, the quarterback. Will Mackey's going to go 1-on-1. 10 seconds, plenty of time. Kicks it back to Dylan Cruz, wide open. Oh, Cruz had more time than I think he realized. There's still time. The people faked him out. The crowd or whoever it was had an early 10 count down. I've been hearing more and more of that all year. The fake counts.
Yeah, can't fall for that.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm not sure what the refs are talking about.
I mean, there was 5 seconds on the clock, but the crowd or the bench for Prep had a fake count Wait, what is the tap on the head? Is that unsportsmanlike? Or is that delay a game?
Let's see what the ref says here.
They're calling it quarter. After much discussion, they're just going to end the quarter after all that. They're saying it was a shot clock violation. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Shot clock violation. 2-2. Let's go over stats real quick, and then we'll get to our sponsors. Stats for Good Counsel. Demarinis had the first goal off an assist from Mackey, and then Dylan Cruz had the second goal. Then Prep came back, and Lutz had a cannon from the outside, shot a man up, and then Hahn got a ride goal, 2-2. That'll end it. Talk about the goalie saves and the faceoffs, man.
Yeah, I mean, the goalies are playing great. 2 freshmen, Good Counsel with 4 saves at the moment, Georgetown Prep with 3, and the faceoff battle definitely skewed towards Good Counsel's favor with them winning the predominant amount of faceoffs today. So we'll see if Georgetown Prep can right the ship there at the faceoff X.
All right, let's go to our sponsorship page. Want to thank Rienzo Recruiting Services. Are you a high school lacrosse player who wants to play in college? Rienzo Recruiting is the nation's premier collegiate lacrosse recruiting consulting service. This personalized one-on-one mentoring approach helps men's lacrosse student athletes find their ideal school based on their ability, athleticism, academics, and goals. Visit rienzorecruiting.com to learn more.
That sounds like a good idea. You should probably do that.
That's pretty exciting. I know you just started that company. Good, best of luck to you, and congratulations on being an entrepreneur, something I've been doing for 30 years, and you've dabbled, but now you're a full-on entrepreneur.
Yeah, looking forward to just working with student athletes and with their parents, helping them navigate the recruiting process. It's a lot of fun, and already helping a bunch of kids out. So if you're interested in getting that type of extra help, check us out at rienzorecruiting.com.
Yeah, and I can tell you firsthand, Matt did this for free for his Madlax 23s, and it was probably one of the best placed teams in club history. So he knows what he's doing. Back to action here, second quarter, 2-2. Good Counsel is leading the faceoff stats, I believe, but Prep wins this one. Tough ground ball.
Good to start out with a win for Georgetown Prep if they can pick it up and finish it off, which they do.
Looks like Monday.
Oh, almost. They spoke too soon.
Yeah, but you still give them the win on that based on the
barely,
initial.
but yes. Yeah. They did pick up the ground ball and secure it, but that's about as worthless a win as you'll have.
Connor Deere got the win again. Monday on the wing had a tough GB as well, and then a turnover. So Good Counsel gets the ball back, brings out the ones. A slow-paced game like this, they can do it. The one you wonder why.
Yes, of course.
They can do it. They might be gassed at times if the game gets.
When you're playing zone at the other end and it's minute-long possessions at the other end, you can play all game long.
He could not see that due to the sun. The sun is right in the eyes, and just a simple pass right there is missed.
That was a big break for Georgetown Prep.
Prep's coming down. Do the same thing. He couldn't see it either.
Wasn't a great pass either on that one.
Yeah, if you throw the ball that way, from our side here to the far side, you're looking right into the sun. It's early. It's a weird time for a game. It's not late enough to be under the lights, but it's early enough to be in the sunset.
Rule of thumb is you don't want to pass down your shadow. You don't want to pass, with your shadow looking at the guy you're passing to.
Like that. Like that was good.
He decided not to. Good play by Gallagher there to not throw that crossfield directly into his shadow.
Smart boy. Going to Fairfield. He's already figured it out. Inside roll here. Lutz over to 30. Sam Caluzzi's now in. Sam Caluzzi's getting his first play. The transfer from Lawrenceville in the boarding school hasn't had 4 goals against St. Albans, is now in on attack.
And he scored a goal against Gonzaga last week as well. He's someone they expect to play a lot of helpful minutes for them and be very productive. I know Coach Scott Urich likes him a lot, the sophomore.
Versus the zone, I used to love playing against zones because I was a feeder. You need someone who's going to feed back there. They're not even playing you at X.
And also you need some cutting action too. I'd like to see some cutters. I mean, Georgetown Prep's finding some seams.
What an outlet pass and a 5-on-3 break here for Good Counsel, but he gives it back. Nice down.
Really nice hustle by Joe Perry to get back.
And Chari makes a great save. Chalk that up for Chari. Then upfield, fast break to Parker Lee. Parker Lee down. Looks like he's in the crease.
I do not know how Rex Adamson held on to that ball. That was a terrible pass into the ground, and he trapped it and picked it up. That was one heck of a play.
So they have Adamson, Kaluzi and Hahn out there, I believe. No, and Lutz. Hahn's not in.
Yeah, so
Where's Hahn?
they're giving Hahn just a little bit of a break, it looks like.
He might have busted a stick. He busted a stick, and he was messing with it at timeout, so that might be part of the issue. On that great ride he had, I think he snapped his stick. Here we go, still playing against that zone. Outside shot, Penzi with another save, chalk it up. Penzi making saves, showing why they can comfortable going zone in front of the big freshman.
Yeah, I mean, that was an okay shot. It's not a terrible shot, but, you know, waning angle, a little farther out. It's an okay shot, but I think Georgetown Prep needs to get a better shot than that.
All right.
Good Counsel's defense is doing its job. They're giving up, you know, okay shots.
Noah Hahn looking to come back in now. He's going to go back in for attack. All right, Good Counsel. 2-2, 8:30 to go here in the second quarter. Just turning in. This has been an excellent game. Absolute cannon by DeMarinis, but backed up. What the heck just happened? Hit the
post. Hit the post.
And then it hit the ref, I think.
It's still a loose ball.
Still a shot. That should still be a shot.
Yeah, they gave that to Georgetown Prep. Actually, that's interesting.
They're going to argue.
They're going to try and figure this one out.
They're going to argue it. But
if
that shot.
If Georgetown Prep redirected it, it's still a shot, and it's whoever is closest.
Yep, we got it. So they hit the shot, hit the pipe, and then hit the ref instead of going out of bounds. If it hadn't hit the ref, Prep was there. But it hit the ref, and then everything went sideways for Prep. Unlucky for Prep.
This is a good matchup here. Let's see how Kelly does. I'd like to see more dodging from number 2 behind. Really look at that matchup between
you got by him last time.
Kelly and William Mackey.
Okay, a little invert here. Jack Hampton, the midi, is going to invert number 22, Jack Manfreda.
He's a converted attackman playing defense. See how he does.
Oh, a quick slide to help him. Wide open inside.
He was actually in good shape. He didn't need a slide, but they went early anyway.
Where's the ball?
Big save there, too.
Oh, man. Mackey picked it up and then couldn't get out of it. See, who is this, Barons?
Yep, that's Dylan Barons.
Good athlete. Up to Kelly. Kelly, no numbers here. Let's see what they do. Kelly just letting it go. I'm not sure that's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's not a great shot. You don't want that.
Up to 17, Grand Van Newkirk here with the ball. He gets it knocked out of bounds. He loses it. Whoa, wait.
Good action. It looks like it should be Georgetown Prep ball.
But again, I think they're going to give it to...
They're looking for a push call or something that I don't think they're going to get.
Oh, no, they're not going to get that.
So that's a you know, an average shot at the other end by Kelly. I'd like to see him draw an attackman, draw a defender and move it to an attackman rather than shooting from 15 yards.
Jack Mundy's doing a nice job at D-midi. He's settled in nicely at the D-midfield spot, the senior.
Yeah, he's a tough player, very good athlete.
Don't have his college commit. I apologize. I'm sure he's... Ooh! Absolute cannon by Brendan Gallagher to take the lead for Prep. Prep's first lead of the day. He just went down the alley mat and blasted it low to high.
Yeah, that was a nice workhorse type of play, just dodging hard down the alley and pummels it through.
He kind of made it look like he was going low by dropping his hands, and then he lifted it up, and Ben, the goalie, was going low. Like,
good to see Brendan Gallagher get on the score sheet. I played with his father, Matt Gallagher, at Georgetown. Great guy. And happy to see him going to another Jesuit school, Fairfield, up north.
Yeah. Face-off here, big. They're kind of even on face-offs now, right? Out. Manning won that, but it goes out to Kelly. Kelly gets a ground ball.
That's a win for Prep.
So that ties it up, right? The face-offs?
Pretty much on the day.
Timeout Prep with 6:39 to go and the lead. Wanted to get a little possession.
Solid timeout. You know, you've got 2 of them, so use one to save possession, get a good offensive set put in. You know, you do know that Good Counsel is going to come back with the zone here, so we'll see what Coach Urich comes up with during the timeout.
All right, let's talk about the DMV Top 20 rankings brought to you by Per Electric. They come out every Monday, and even though it's Wednesday right now, this feels old because, believe it or not, number 3, St. John's, was beaten by number 6, DeMatha last night in double overtime.
DeMatha's, you know, they're coming up as well. You know, they've played some teams really tough. They're getting better every year.
DeMatha also beat Good Counsel earlier. It's one of Good Counsel's frustrating losses on the season, but now DeMatha showing that they are legit.
Yeah, for sure.
Prep moved up to 4. They were as low as 8, one of their lowest rankings ever, but they beat St. Albans, they beat Gonzaga, and now they've moved up ahead of Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think the WCAC is wide open. You know, St. John's, DeMatha, Gonzaga, Good Counsel, Paul VI. I mean, Paul VI maybe is, you know, the fifth team if you're looking at results so far. But that's really a conference that's kind of mucked up a little bit, so it'll play out over time.
It's deeper than the IC this year for one of the few times in the last 10 years. Definitely deeper, has more quality teams, all the way down to St. Mary's Riken, who has some good wins this year, and the Heights.
Well, I think Landon and Georgetown Prep and Bullis would argue with that statement, but we'll see how the season plays out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said that's why I said depth. Just, wide open inside is Bowman, can't handle it. Picked up by Hahn, ragged by number 24, Darian Judd. Darian Judd just stripped him and knocked it out. Great play by Darian Judd.
Yeah, these defenders are doing a nice job for Good Counsel, playing within themselves, playing as a team.
Jackson Manning here trying to leg it out, the Catholic commit. Nice deep defensive midfield play by Jackson Manning on the clear. All right, here comes Cruz, the Towson commit, junior. 3 juniors on this line. Let me double check that.
I'd like to see Good Counsel kind of take their time and get set.
No, Jack Hampton's a senior, sorry.
And then dodge and draw the slide and run their offense like they did the first few times.
Yeah, here they go. This is their set. They love this set. The high, wide open backside, cut. Oh, it's a pick. I like this offense.
A little variation instead of swinging it to the other side. They picked for the ball.
Good take there by Jack Hampton, the senior. If that goes low, it's probably a goal. Will Mackey picks it up with Kelly on him. Got a short stick behind to set a pick. Little 2-man game behind. Let's see how they work this. Gets high side on Kelly. Kelly doing a nice job that time. So Mackey shows he can go both ways. I mean, he just went to his offhand there with confidence.
He's a versatile player, no question.
That's not a bad look.
It was not a bad look, but he wasn't ready for it on the backside. He didn't move to the ball at all, unfortunately. I don't think he was expecting it.
Yeah, or maybe sun factor, too. I mean, like, that was the sun pass direction.
Definitely directly within his shadow.
No 10-man regular drop ride here for Good Counsel.
Got the 2 middies are in for Georgetown Prep again.
Chari's going to run it.
They're going to be offsides. Just offsides.
Close.
Yeah, that'll come back. They were offsides.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a yard offsides.
Whenever the goalie goes over, you got to keep 2 middies back.
I thought they were going to let it go because they took so long to blow it. Oh, backside's wide open. Look at 2 on the backside. Oh, they don't see it. All right, they're subbing. Good Counsel wants to slow it down. They probably would throw that against someone else, but tonight their coaches just drilled it into them. We got to go deep into the shot clock. 4:30 to go here in the second quarter. 3-2 Prep invert here for number 20, Drew Wolven. Is it 20? First action of the game for Drew. So they're going a little deeper here in the second quarter. Here is Will Mackey. Back to Drew. Over to Cruz. Cruz gets a step on his guy. Gets upfield. Nice lift check there by Jack Mundy with a shorty. Inside force. Don't like that.
Good defensive stand by Georgetown Prep. Let's see if they can score in transition.
Look at it. Oh. If Talbot had kept going, they had a 5-on-4 there. He ran off the field. You see that?
Yep. Yeah, I like to really just keep pushing the transition, especially when they're running zone. There you go. Run a little, a secondary break or a slow break. You know, they're subbing, they're getting guys in, they get the ball to X, look for a cutter and a feed. Really nice play.
That's Brett Cotton. You know, Brett Cotton had a big goal against Gonzaga as well. He's kind of a juice guy, second line midi, but he can finish.
Yeah, without a doubt, junior with a nice goal there. And I just really like the offensive concept of not giving up on the transition. Call it a secondary break or a slow break, whatever you want to call it, but just keeping to look and keeping to press, even when you don't have all your guys in there, even when you know, everything's not fully set up. That's the best time to go against a defensive team that's getting set in a zone, and it's hard to score 6-on-6.
Manning versus Raposa back at the face-off X battle here. And looks like Raposa, well, he's going to get the win. Looks like Good Counsel's going to get the win. Chalk it up for Good Counsel. Another
gritty wins here. There's not a lot of clean face-off wins.
Wait, they might have called out of the box early, and then we have a Good Counsel player down on the collision. I thought he left the box early, too, on a non-release call. 4-2 to go, 3:26 stoppage of play here. We got a, looks like Hunter Manning, the face-off specialist, who's doing a great job. Got Charlie Horst or something. Going to Richmond. I think he's taking a PG next year somewhere. And then heading to Richmond as a 26. But he got Charlie Horst there. And Prep's going to take the ball because Good Counsel defenseman picked it up, just left the box too. Here we go.
So we give that a face-off win to Prep then?
Yeah, I guess so. Correct. All right, are they in the zone or man? Looks like they're back in zone. Good Counsel going a lot of zone tonight. Upside skip to Lutz. Way outside. Man, Lutz has a heater. That is a hard shot.
Yeah, he can shoot it, rip it over, mid-90s probably.
That was at least 16 yards of high to high. Penzie probably wanted to catch that. Good deflection there. And the ball's down. Good D by Good Counsel. Got to get out of your stick, bud. Get out of your stick.
I did not like that offensive set for Prep at all.
Man, he got it back though. He threw it away, 24. Darian Judd, and then he got it back, and then they call timeout. Good call by Coach Smith. Timeout with 2:35 to go, down 2. Good Counsel needs a goal here. They jumped out 2-0, but Prep has scored 4 straight.
Yeah, I like that timeout. You can't take them with you into halftime, so you might as well use it. Get your offense settled, get a play in there. Get your key guys ready to go, get something set up so you can generate a goal here. They do need to start producing on offense, Good Counsel, in order to really make a push at this game. It's been slow scoring to start, as it often is, but the scoring tends to open up in the third and fourth quarter, especially in games like this, where guys who maybe they haven't played before and they're just feeling each other out a little bit. So I'll look for the scoring to open up in the second half for sure, but we'll see if Good Counsel can get one here.
Yeah, let's talk about keys to victory directly from Coach Smith. He said 1, wing play and 50-50 ground balls, specifically on the face-off. He said both Prep face-off guys do a good job countering, make it a 50-50. They have good length, and we will need to compete with them off the ground in the middle of the field. He also added that quality offensive possessions. He talked about going deep in the shot clock and handling the pressure from Georgetown Prep, limiting turnovers and taking each offensive possession deep into the shot clock. And then finally, making Noah Hahn and Wyatt Bowman move the ball. We will be quick to slide to them and late to recover off these two players. Both are dynamic Dodgers, Hahn with his speed and Bowman with his physical stature.
And then, from Georgetown Prep, I spoke with Coach Urich earlier today, and he was really emphatic that they need to clear the ball well. They spend a lot of time clearing the ball, so whether it's a 10-man or the regular ride, they need to clear the ball. Playing hard with more players, as we've talked about, really trying to wear down Good Counsel, especially that first midfield line. And then, establish the offensive flow early. They've scored 4 goals, so not terrible, especially compared to Good Counsel's 2, but like to see a little more offensive flow, but it's tough when you're playing against the zone.
Yeah, I was going to say the zone is the X factor. It's changed everything. It's actually changed probably Coach Urich's strategy. He can't go to that. He doesn't need to go to that second, third line like he could have in a fast up-tempo game. And also, Good Counsel's not using their 10-man. They've used the 10-man, and they're not using it tonight probably to make sure it doesn't get...
Yeah, they don't want to give up crazy goals in transition. They want to play 6-on-6 and, hold them to, kind of an inefficient offense against the zone. It is hard to play offense well against the zone.
Here's Cruz against Lane. Matched up differently out of the timeout. He gets step on, gets inside his man. Doesn't go to the goal.
Kelly was there to help out, but no need.
Dylan Barron's on. Looks like Drew. And here's Demirinis.
You got you got the first D middies in for Georgetown Prep, Mundy and Barons.
Hampton
doing a nice job.
Impressed by Hampton so far in this game. Number 1. Doing a nice job. This is where they got called for an interference earlier. Oh, good physical dodge by Cruz, but good D by Lane.
Good engagement by both players.
Oh, absolute cannon for there by Chase Spar, the lefty. Didn't have much.
Shot clock ran out.
Didn't have much angle.
He did have to take that shot because the shot clock was expiring. So
he's a big kid he's a sophomore, number 0. He's a good-looking sophomore. He puts up a lot of points. He's got 16 points on the season. Here is Dylan Barons, great two-way athlete for Prep. And out comes their first midfield line here with 1 minute to go. It's just about the shot clock and the game clock are about exactly the same here. Here is Bowman. Just looks like a monster out there. Kicks it to the backside to Kaluzzi. Kaluzzi inside to Hahn. Man, he just shoved that in there, and Hahn caught it. Switched hands and shot it.
Yeah, he was handcuffed, but nice. What is going on behind the goal? That was strange.
Is that illegal?
He was,
5 yards?
He rolled it to the goalie thinking it was before the play started, but the play had started.
They might give him a timeout here.
That was interesting.
I think they do have another timeout. 30 seconds to go. Drew DeMarinis with the ball. 30 seconds to go. Plenty on the shot clock, so this is going to be the last possession. I think Coach has a timeout he could use. He's got Talbot on him.
He's not using it.
Will Mackey with the ball. Mackey's got Kelly on him, and here's Jack Hampton with the short shoot. This is the best matchup to go
15 seconds to go.
Hampton drives left, goes underneath, has a mirror, goes, power move, great dodge by Jack Hampton.
Hits the post.
5 seconds to go. Man, they needed that one. I've been impressed by Jack Hampton, the Drexel commit this half. Number 20, Drew Woven, senior, doesn't get by.
Nice play by the defensive midfielder, Barons there.
Dylan Barons put him down.
Mundy and Barons playing as advertised. A good rope unit for Georgetown Prep.
So a slower quarter. No goals for Good Counsel. 2 for Prep. Take the lead 4-2 at half. Let's go to the sponsors real quick before we discuss the first half. Wired for Growth, the Electrical Alliance, our 2025 DMVLAX Game of the Week title sponsor, is the all-encompassing support system that helps electricians in the DMV secure the highest quality training, employment, wages, and benefits. For career opportunities and contractor partnership, visit electricalalliance.org. Sport Automotive players to watch are brought to you by Sport Automotive, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Honda. Be a sport fan too and visit sportautomotive.com. Be sure to ask for our friend and owner Gibbs Fogarty, Landon class of 2005. When you visit Sport, if you tell him beat Prep, he may hook you on your next new Tahoe.
I'm pretty sure if you say beat Prep, he'll hook you on your next Tahoe.
You might want to get that Tahoe before these tariffs kick in, too.
I think it's suspended for 90 days, so I think we're in good shape.
It did. And Per Electric is the 2025 title sponsor for the popular weekly DMV Top 20 team rankings, which we've just discussed, posted every Monday at 6 p.m. on Go Madlax on Instagram. Construction careers are in very high demand, commanding competitive wages and providing opportunities. And the good news is that Per Electric is always hiring electricians, construction and project managers, engineers, and safety professionals. Check them out at perelectric.com. And Rienzo Recruiting Services. This personalized one-on-one mentoring approach helps men's lacrosse student athletes find their ideal school, their college, based on their ability, athleticism, academics, and goals. Visit rienzorecruiting.com to learn more about that exciting new service. All right, first half, 4-2. We've talked about that. Slow down game is probably the way Good Counsel wants it, Matt.
100%.
You know, they don't want this thing to be a track meet. And then when they play 10 on 10 or even 15 on 15 or maybe even 20 on 20, they're even. They're matched up man for man. If it goes to 25 guys or more, Prep has the depth. Prep's got, I looked at it, I think they have 49 guys on their roster. I don't know if that's as big as Gonzaga, but that's one of the biggest rosters in the.
They basically carry like college programs at this point.
Yeah, and so the future is bright for Good Counsel. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, they only have 7 seniors. Their JVs just absolutely dominated the JVs for Prep 11-2. As I was walking in, you got to see a little bit about that.
Yeah, you don't usually like to put any stock into that type of thing, but. Good Counsel, I think, is just developing depth in their program, which they haven't had, in the past at this level, and so kudos to Coach Smith for, really building a really good program from the ground up. And it starts with good goaltending, good defense, but he also has an incredible first midfield line, and
they're all juniors.
Yeah.
And sorry, Hampton's a senior. I keep saying that.
So, I think the future is very bright for them. In this game in particular, I am surprised they only have 2 goals. Kudos to Georgetown Prep's defense for making that happen, and to, Keith Chari for, playing pretty well in the goal with 5 saves so far. But I would like to see their midfield hold on to the ball a little bit more for Good Counsel and really try and keep going and keep dodging, redodging, and not give up on their dodges so quickly. They're just, especially those three midfielders are so talented. Let's just see if they can keep re-attacking, sustain their dodge a little bit.
Who do you think's so far the most physical defensive player? We call it the hit of the game, but usually it goes to the most physical player, most dominating physical defenseman on the field. You being the defensive expert, having coached in college.
I mean, so far what I've seen, if we're looking for like a physical player of the game, Dylan Barron's number 17, the sophomore, at the end of the half just now, defended his guy, stood him up, put him on the ground as the horn sounded. I'm not sure, at home if you could see that, but so far that gets my vote.
That was excellent. I think Lane, number 28 for Prep's been doing a nice job as well. It's a little harder for Good Counsel to be physical when they're sitting back in that zone, but
yeah, Lane had that great engagement at the goal line extended, that left-handed where he stood up. Was that Dylan Cruz that he was guarding at the time?
Yeah.
It was a very physical meeting of two players at the goal line there. So nice job by Lane.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. Just a couple of minutes, we'll be right back.
Rage, money, power, I'm big, wanna feel. Feel it. Feel it. Rage, power. Rage, money, power. I'm
All right, welcome back, DMV lacrosse fans, to Good Counsel Stadium. I'm Cabo Maddox here. The DMVLAX Game of the Week with Matt Rienzo, expert analyst and commentator here. We got ourselves a good game, trying to figure out, it's a lot different than what we thought it was going to be in that Good Counsel is playing zone defense almost exclusively. Their first set they came out and played man, and now they've played zone exclusively. And Prep has, do they have no goals against the zone? It's all in transition? Let me check my notes on this. Yeah, exactly. A slow break goal, a one-on-one goal, and a man-up goal, and a ride goal. All of Prep's goals are in transition.
They've gotten a few looks in front of the goal from decent range that they had to get rid of quickly, so they didn't have a whole lot of time to set their feet on those shots and really place the ball. They haven't gotten incredible looks against the zone, and until they do, Good Counsel is going to keep running it. What you need to do is bust the zone. Like at Rex Adamson, Lutz, Hahn, somebody needs to pump one in from 11, 12 yards and then force the defense to extend out a little bit more.
All right, here we go. I assume this is Raposa. Yes, it is. Raposa, the junior Army commit for Georgetown Prep, going against Hunter Manning, the Richmond commit. Now also a junior because he's taking a PG year, technically. He'll graduate from Good Counsel and go post-grad. Good tie-up. Both quick on that whistle, but Manning gets it on a counter from Raposa. Pops it out. A little shovel there. Raposa gets it. Face-off win, Prep. Now they might have a slight advantage, and it's a fast break. This is danger. Man, just missed, but Lutz just missed that. He has got a rip. So I think Prep has a slight advantage in the face-offs. Matt, what do you have for?
Yeah, just by one.
Okay.
It's been very close.
All right, out comes Gallagher, the first midfield line, Perry, and Bowman. Back into the zone. Way off on that. Way too much whip in these sticks. It's funny, you can see the whip's beautiful.
He took a little too much time to get that shot off. If he's cocked and ready, catch one cradle, shoot it right away from the 3/4. He probably gets that off, but he waited a hair too long and got checked.
Back at X. They're not even guarding X. Bowman probably got a cannon. Perry been neutralized with this zone defense. Stoppage of play here. I think there was a clock issue. 55 seconds on the shot clock, 11:18 in the third. We're just starting the second half here.
The shot clock didn't run, so they're running it down to 50 seconds, then they'll restart play.
Just a couple of seconds difference there. Putting short sticks in the top left and right. That's an interesting spot to put the shorties.
Because they don't have any lefties on Georgetown Prep. That's why.
Good call. That's a great pickup call there. Usually you balance it, but if they don't have any lefties.
That's always the question when you're running a zone, is where do we hide the shorties?
Way outside. Lutz again, 24 seconds in the shot clock. That looked like a frustration shot, but coach might be telling him to let it go because he's got a 95-mile-an-hour shot. Just let it go. Here's Hahn back to Adamson. Adamson, they're not playing behind the goal, but Prep is not attacking from behind the goal. Have you noticed that? There you go.
Yeah, I think you could draw up and draw two in that low corner and move the ball from there.
Absolute blast there by...
I'd like to see that low attackman drive up.
3 shots by Lutz in this possession alone.
And then garner the top defender to come down, spin the ball up top and move it to the backside, and you might get something that way. They're not really attacking the low corner, though. They're doing it more from the top corners.
Everything's from here. Yeah, well, not everything, but most of it's from right here. Oh.
Shot clock violation.
Great
so they
defense.
just dumped the ball in the corner.
Great defense. And so Prep didn't change their their zone offense in the second half here. That looked like the exact same offense. And like you said, you attack the back corners, or even just attacking from X and going in a 1-4-1 would probably give that zone defense some challenge. Ball in the end line here. I thought they were in 10-man for a second, but they're not. Prep is not 10-manning. They are regular riding. 2 down, though. Aggressive ride with Hahn and Adamson chasing. Hahn is aggressive. He just knocked him straight out of bounds. The ball's still in play. No, they knocked it out of bounds.
That is a heck of an individual play by Noah Hahn on the ride there.
Yeah, you do not want to try to run it out past him. He will track you down, hunt you down. And that is why Princeton picked him up, one of the top attackmen in the country in the junior class.
Georgetown Prep running out the second midfield again. Colton McAndrew, Jack Manfreda, and Brett Cotton.
Here's Cotton. Already has a goal. Great save by Penzi. Penzi with the goal. Penzi with the save on Noah Hahn. Quick clear, ground ball and clear for Good Counsel. Will Mackey, quarterback of the offense. Ooh, dangerous play there to give it to Dylan Cruz. They needed possession here. Hopefully they slow it down. That is Brett Cotton on the ball, number 4.
Brett runs on the second midfield. I think he can play some defense too.
Yeah,
I saw him out here before, so I think they're in good shape with him out.
No, he was
4.
a D-midi last year. Man. He's a converted. He's a solid two-way guy. Shows he can score. He has a goal in the last 2 games. And now he's on ball on one of the best Dodgers for Good Counsel, if not their best. He's in a one-on-one situation here. See if he gets a step on. Comes around, shot, goal.
Really well done.
No slide there, and finally, it's been forever.
I loved what Dylan Cruz did there. He came to his left, and just when Cotton was stepping over the goal, he changed back to his right, and just that little bit of separation that he was able to create, he was able to get a step and get topside for that no-angle wraparound right-handed shot.
Shot it low too. Chari was standing big on the pipe as most goalies do, and he wrapped it around him beautifully. Dylan Cruz with the second goal on the day. Gets Good Counsel back in the game. Hunter faces off and pulls it back to his wing, but the wing misses the ground ball, and now it's a scrap. Ball's loose. Prep George. I'm not sure what they called there, but they're not going to. Oh, they gave it back to him anyways, even though he scooped it.
Good Counsel with the win.
Number 15, Brendan Stanislav.
All right, we got a one goal game here, Cabell. 4-3, Georgetown Prep leads, but Good Counsel has the ball.
Hunter Manning, the faceoff guy, gets another win there. I'm glad to see he's okay. He got Charlie Horst in the late second there. And here's Jack Hampton, who had a great first half. Rang one off the pipe here. He's due. Doesn't have a goal yet. But here is Dylan Cruz. Inside's open.
Nice movement inside.
That was Will Mackey. Absolute cannon by Hampton right into Chari's stick. Actually, that was off stick. Chari's a lefty, so that was off stick high. Good shot, good save.
Might have bounced off his shoulder even.
This is Cruz again. Cruz coming around lefty, gets inside roll, kicks it, scores! 2 in a row for Dylan Cruz.
And that was against a short stick again.
He is showing why he's one of the most electric players in the DMV.
I really like, it's just a textbook question mark dodge. He comes up to the 5-5 above the goal, makes a question mark dodge and turns and sticks it. Really nice play, low angle, with great accuracy on that shot. That's a highlight reel play.
Yep, and his Chari stick is the lefty, so he put it to the side rights and just placed it beautifully and ties it up here, 4-4 with 8:10 to go here. We have a ball game. Just part of the reason why we decided to call this and make this the game of the week. We thought this would be a great game, and we're happy it is.
A lot of game left. Tied 4-4, 8 minutes to go in the third.
That's Derogaitis on the faceoff, not Raposo. Derogaitis has actually had more success if we're tracking it carefully. Connor Derogaitis, the Christopher Newport commit, the senior, I think is 3-1 on the day.
Slight edge for Georgetown Prep at the faceoff X.
You know, he personally is doing well. They have 2 faceoff guys who split it.
I don't think our stat keeper was getting that specific, Howell.
Hopefully someone on your staff down there is keeping that, so might see more of him in the fourth quarter in the meaningful faceoffs. But Prep gains possession, and Good Counsel in the zone. Yes, they are back into the zone. Rotation, they got him rotating there.
They did. They need to move the ball quicker. Instead of holding it, move it to the backside right away.
Oh, wide open inside. Holy smokes.
Nice look.
And you know what they
Honda
did?
Gallagher.
And they were front X, and they were in a 1-4-1 set. That was the first time I've seen them in a 1-4-1 set. And
I think they just flowed into that out of their offense, and they happened to be in that. But, you know, really good spacing, you know, in order for Gallagher to find that seam and to get open, and then Hahn finding him, of course.
First zone goal of the day for Prep of their 5 goals. That's the first pure settled 6-on-6 goal.
It's a big one.
That's promising for Prep.
Yeah, they needed that, you know, because their offense was just getting so stagnant against the zone, so they needed that. And we'll see if I'm sure Good Counsel will stay with it because they've had success. But if they do it a few times, they may get out of it.
And Connor Derrigatis, he actually cleanly won that faceoff. So he's won 4 and lost 1. He's doing very well for Prep. Give them another win and the control out the back on the pull to his wing up to Kelly on the little gentle ride there by Jake Bendler. The junior attackman. Here's Hahn. Looks like they're in a man-to-man for a second here. They got to get...
Nah, they're still in their zone. They just weren't quite set up yet fully, but now they are.
Good D there by, is that Divine?
Yeah, you're not going to dodge against the zone like that.
19, that is Declan Divine, the junior. Nice stick check on Hahn. I thought it was a pretty good idea, though, by Hahn to try to get a quick one before they're...
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to give it a whirl as long as you don't push it too far.
Wait, they are playing man-to-man.
Yeah, they are, actually. You're right.
Yeah,
they're in man-to-man.
They've switched to a man-to-man set here. First defensive man-to-man in a while. Inside look, and that's... They actually had another look, too. I mean, everything's wide open in the
man-to-man. Yeah, that was
a
good pass by Jack Manfreda. Good handle by Rex Adamson. Just couldn't put it on cage. Nice action, though, by Georgetown Prep to get a quick shot. I think they're going to get to the goal quite often against man-to-man, so we'll see if Good Counsel switches back.
Hahn has a shorty. This is a problem for Good Counsel. Great early slide by 17, Greg Van Newmark. Inside, Rex Adamson.
He was handcuffed there and still somehow got a shot off.
And he's in the crease.
I think I'm giving them a save for that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that hit his body. Over to 24, Darian Judd up to, is it 19? Declan Divine. Divine brings it over. Man, Good Counsel rolled the dice there with the man-to-man, and it paid off. I mean, Prep just looked so much more comfortable.
Yeah, they did. There's so much more space. He can move the ball. Obviously, good coaching by Dane Smith to go with the zone. I don't know if he wants to stay away from it much longer. I'd go back to it.
Yeah, I think if teams are watching Prep versus the zone, that might be the play. Use that zone, at least mix it. Oh, good dodge by Cruz. He is just hard to guard. I don't know why Mackey didn't pull that.
Yeah, I don't think he had a perfect shot. Good discipline by him if he didn't.
Chase Spar being guarded by Lane. Nice job by Jason Lane.
Good junior defensive core for Georgetown Prep.
Oh, the fake. Man, he's playing with a lot of confidence right now is Cruz. Little fake flip and then a little underhand. Probably not the smartest shot, but if it goes, it goes. Here is Chase Spar, the lefty attackman, over to William Mackey, the quarterback. He's got Kelly on him. Kelly sits back, though. Look how they're playing that. Oh, no, he passed it off to Cruz. I missed that.
They're playing a zone, quick slide zone type of invert defense.
And there's going to be guys open in this.
Yeah, it's well done by Prep. They did a little diamond formation with the quick slide predetermined.
Whoa, DeMarinis.
Shot clock was running down to 0.
Okay.
The Georgetown Prep's ball.
I apologize for not giving you the shot clock for you fans at home. That was a great defensive stance by Prep. Killed the 60 seconds off the shot clock, and now it's 4:40 to go in the third quarter. 5-4 Georgetown Prep.
I liked that defense that Prep ran at this side on that last. I think it's the first time I've seen them do that.
Versus the invert?
Yeah, where they had that predetermined slide with Kelly in the low spot of the diamond. I really think that's a recipe for success against an invert offense.
A lot of people call that the hammer slide, when they pre-designate the guy who's going, and he sits behind the goalie, and they do a four-man zone behind it?
Yeah, diamond.
Diamond behind it. Oh, nice block there by, oh, that's a foul.
Such a great play there by Good Counsel's defensive midfielder.
Griffin West.
It's too bad he pushed him, loose ball push to give the ball back. I always love to see the discipline when they don't do that push after a good play.
Yeah, you got to have it. And they're staying in the man-to-man. A wrinkle here by Coach Smith of Dane Smith, the head coach. Switch. Now Bowman's got a shorty. They switch back, though. Hahn's got a shorty.
Ooh, big save by the freshman. I mean, Hahn,
wow.
It wasn't a step down. It was on the run, so he could, the goalie could track that, but still a great save.
Great save.
It was stick side also, so not great placement by Hahn.
But Hahn is just a hard person to save.
It's still a good save, though, because, it's one of the top players in the country against a freshman. Really well done there.
Here's Drew Wolven, senior midi, getting more playing time as the game's going on. Not on the first line.
They go back to the diamond zone look defense, and now they're out of it when the ball comes above the goal line.
So as soon as they invert, they go to that automatically. Let's see if they go to it again right here, and they do. Laner becomes the hammer slide, the designated guy, sitting behind the goalie, and they're open all over the place.
And that was, they just weren't in the right spots. They whoever was supposed to be on that wing vacated, and now they're out of that defense.
Jake
they're back to
Bendler
man-to-man.
wants to have that one back.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication. They just the fourth guy in the diamond didn't get there.
Yeah, it looks a little sloppy on D here now because Jake Bendler's sitting wide open on the wing.
Well, one of the challenging things when you run a defense like that is you go in and out of zone often, and so you can get a little bit jumbled up.
Jake Bendler, now they're jumbled up. They got a shorty on they have 2 shorties on 2 attackmen. Oh, that's unfortunate for Good Counsel, but great strip and great play by number 33, Luke McGlone, the Villanova commit. He gets decked. Nice play by 17, Greg Van Newkirk, the sophomore.
Really nice play.
Oh, this is a tough play if he can get through that. I was going to say that would have been just incredible by Mackey. Kelly picks it up. A little action here now. Faster ball movement, a little more between the lines play that makes lacrosse so popular.
Yeah, we've had a lot of 6-on-6 play tonight. More so than, for instance, the Gonzaga game last week, which was all back and forth. You know, this is very 6-on-6.
There was no settling down in that game. There was also about 50 turnovers in that game. Sam Caluzzi, 30, is back on attack. So Prep showing a little more depth there, rotating 4 guys in. Colton McAndrew here getting some action here, number 16 with the ball. Brett Cotton with the ball now. Looks like Brett threw it away. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a drift pass to Kaluji behind, and you know he led him a little bit too much. Just not an accurate pass.
Okay, up to Greg Van Newkirk, the sophomore. Nice looking sophomore close defender here who just easily gallops it over and gives it up to Spar.
1-goal game, 5-4 Georgetown Prep with 1.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Thank you, Jack Hampton with the ball. Out come the first midfield line. This is one of the best, and they're proving it. And Drew DeMarinis, he only has 1 goal in the day because they're pulling the heck out of him, right? Oh, now they're pulling Cruz. They've switched it. Watch for DeMarinis to go here.
Not a bad call.
They're still going to go with him.
Still jump starting it with him even though he has the pull. They say, we don't care. He's good enough.
He might just be a drag dodge. Yeah, he's a drag dodge, and here goes DeMarinis.
Little dummy dodge there.
Yeah, here goes Drew. He needs space, and he just wants the alley, and he's just going to hammer it.
Good D by Barons there.
No slide came. I wonder why he passed that. Back out to him. He's got a shorty here. He's got to get this shot off. Bull dodge. Good D there by, is that Barons? No, number 1. That's Mundy. Jack Mundy. Great D on DeMarinis.
It's a couple possessions in a row lost by Georgetown Prep, but they get it back.
Sam Kalutz. No, that's Rex Adamson. And what's the call? You have an injury? Oh, yeah, far side. Missed it. Sorry, far side injury. Georgetown Prep. 44 took his helmet off.
That's Ryan Talbot, who's been injured. Ooh. Hopefully he didn't re-injure himself.
Looks like he's limping. He's got something wrapped on his right leg, quad area. And looks like he's limping a little bit there with that right leg. Hopefully he didn't re-injure that strain or tear, whatever it was, because he's been playing pretty well. Very well, actually. But it's Prep ball on the other side. 16 seconds to go. Up 5-4. They're going to probably try, if I were good counsel, I'd go into the zone here for 15 seconds, and they are. Okay. Here's Kaluzzi, inside force to Gallagher. Caught it.
I don't know how he caught that.
Just ran over the ref.
Good agility by the ref.
And a great save by Penzi to end. Chalk him up another save. Penzi's got a lot of saves. How many goal saves do Chari and Penzi have?
So that was 4 in that quarter for Penzi. In total, 10 for Penzi. And we're looking at 6 for Chari. Chari didn't get a whole lot of action that quarter as far as saves are concerned.
All right, well, Good Counsel won that quarter 2-1 and still trails by 1 here entering the 4th quarter. Thanks for joining us here for the DMVLAX Game of the Week. I'm Cabo Maddox here with Matt Rienzo. We're going to thank our sponsors here as we enter the 4th. The Electrical Alliance, Wired for Growth, our DMV Game of the Week title sponsor for 2025 is the all-encompassing support system that helps electricians in the DMV secure the highest quality training, employment, wages, and benefits. For career opportunities and contractor partnership, visit electricalalliance.org. Rienzo Recruiting Services. Are you a high school lacrosse player who wants to play in college? Then Rienzo Recruiting is the nation's premier collegiate lacrosse recruiting consulting service. A personalized one-on-one mentoring approach helps lacrosse student athletes find their ideal school based on their ability, athleticism, academics, and goals. Visit rienzorecruiting.com. And Per Electric, the 25 sponsor of our very popular Top 20 team rankings posted every Monday night. Founded in 1922, they are one of the DMV's top electrical contractors and a proud partner in the local building and construction industry. Check out perelectric.com for more information. Be sure to connect with President of Per Electric, Scott Pinto, a proud Paul VI and Madlax parent. Back to the action here for the favorite fourth quarter ball game, 5-4. Just like we drew it up in the pregame, we wanted a close one. We got a close one. I have a feeling this is going to come down to the wire. I don't have a feeling that either team is going to make an explosion here of 5 or 10 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect the scoring to open up a little bit more in this quarter in transition. You know, as teams get a little tired, you know, mistakes get made.
Ooh,
So we'll
Raposa
see.
with the win. Raposa got a win for Prep, and now they're up a couple.
It's a good start for the Little Hoyas to win that first faceoff of the fourth quarter.
Hahn over to Bowman. To Gallagher. To Perry. Perry's been quiet. Let's see if they start the offense with him here. He likes the man-to-man offense. You can tell. He's jumpy. Got great twitch and gets by guys. Here's Hahn up top. They're moving him around a little bit, even though they're playing zone. He's going to start the offense maybe. Over to Gallagher. No, that's Bowman, sorry. Bull dodges, doesn't get through the zone, actually goes down. Inside to Hahn, over to Gallagher. Gallagher just absolute cannon, lets it go. Good ball movement there. They're moving players around a little bit.
Gallagher's getting lots of interesting feeds and shots where he's got his back to the goal and has to turn and fire it off. Not an easy play.
The coach has got Hahn up top now, moving that. So that's a new wrinkle. They got Kaluzzi behind. Inside force, wide open. Good look by Kaluzzi.
I liked the action there. You know, they had double cutters, which also opened up something up top. That was a kind of a better zone offensive look than what I've seen. I don't know if that was by design or if that's just what they happened to do on that particular play, but I liked that action by Bowman cutting. And that also opened some things up top if they hadn't fed it to Bowman.
So Bowman on the goal, Kaluzzi on the assist versus the zone. That's the second zone defense goal. And they take a 2-goal lead, which is the biggest lead of any team of the day.
And I think, you know, Prep is starting to play a little better against the zone now.
Yeah,
They're starting to do some more things. They're starting to find some seams.
2 in a row, you're right, 2 in a row. And they also are starting to win faceoffs. Cole Raposo, clean win, fast break. So that is a distinct advantage now for Prep in the faceoff score. And wide open is Hahn. Wow. Good
He was
catch.
wide open, but it was a 3-on-5.
Yeah.
I don't mind that early offense, but when it's that outnumbered, it's not a great idea. So good decision by Hahn to hold on and possess the ball.
Second mids for Prep. Colton McAndrew out here. Brett Cotton with the ball.
Definitely man-to-man.
Wide open is Hahn.
Man-to-man by Good Counsel.
Oh, what a touch goal by 16 Colton McAndrew. Are you
Sophomore.
Kidding? Are you kidding me? That was slick.
That was a great play. And Coach Urich says that Colton McAndrew is a superior high IQ player. Really likes his upside. You know, he's young, he's only a sophomore, but great finish there, showing very good skill. Versatile player.
He's excellent. I mean, his brother's injured. His dad is a coach of the soccer team, a great family. Plays on our 27 Madlax team. He's a bright future, that young man. And that ball came out of his stick as quick as it possibly can, Matt.
Yeah, that was a feed on a dime and really just in and out in a millisecond. Really well done.
Love to see that catch, shot, release. And now Prep has won 4 in a row. This game is being taken over by the faceoffs.
They're really, I don't know what adjustments they made, but it's working. So they're getting the ball a lot more here in the fourth quarter, which is essential.
Man, that's tough for Good Counsel.
10 minutes to go.
tough.
7-4 Georgetown Prep.
Yep, 7-4, and they've actually got 3 in a row. It was 4-4.
And they're sticking with the man-to-man.
Oh, it's just falling apart for Good Counsel now.
Well, you know what's happened is that you can't stay in a zone when you're down because you can't allow possessions to be, you know, a minute 15 seconds long when there's only 8 minutes left and you're down by a few goals. So
who did that dodge rollback and then fed Han? Who fed Han on that? Did you get? It was one of the middies here. I think it was Joe Perry.
Yeah, I think it was Perry.
That was a nice little play. He drew 2 and kicked it back quickly to Han, who just ripped it top right. Timeout, Good Counsel. Probably a smart timeout. 9:54 to go, down 4. They've scored 4 in a row, and it is now 8-4 Prep. It was just 4-4 a minute ago.
Well, you know, if you're a Good Counsel, you want to stay in that zone. Even though they did figure it out a little bit and score a couple against it, you've had a whole game worth of success with that zone. But now you're in the fourth quarter, you're down, and they're not playing the zone anymore, and they're giving up goals very quickly.
I would have held on to the zone a little longer.
I would have too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they just, you know, they only had 1 or 2 goals versus the settled zone. Like, yeah, you got to get out of the zone if you're, you know, if there's 3 minutes to go in the game and you're down a couple. But man, with 12 minutes, it was working. I didn't see anything that was showing.
Yeah, you know, and if you get a minute and a half possession, but you get the ball, that's okay, and you can then, you know, draw it to 1 goal or 2. So, yeah, you know, I'm sure they'll be looking at that and thinking about that too, whether they should have stayed with it longer. But at the end of the day, you know, 9.5 minutes to go, 9:54, 4-goal game.
And you know what? I'm looking out right now. We're in a beautiful press box. We haven't talked about our facilities here. Good Counsel has a gorgeous campus out here in Olney, and the crowd is packed, and the students are here. The school spirit is strong, and obviously, you know, they have the desire to win. Look at their football team. Their football team has been dominant for the last 15 years, won many WCAC championships. Their basketball team is competitive. Their women's lacrosse team is top 5 in the country, I believe.
Yep.
And
well, they're committed to athletics here, and it shows.
And their student body has great spirit, and we're honored to be calling this game and grateful that they let us in their on their nice campus today. We'll see if Good Counsel can make a run back. They're going to need to start right here, and they have lost 5 in a row on the faceoffs. It's like a different.
It's 4-0 in the fourth quarter at the faceoff.
It's the same guys though. So Cole Raposa, credit him. He's changed something, and he is winning. The Army commit junior. Great job by Cole Raposa. 4 in a row for him. They're high-fiving him as he comes off. Prep can now milk it. Good Counsel. Looks like they are sitting in a little bit of the zone. Yeah, they are in the zone. But
they're back to it.
Yeah. Prep's going to try more crazy stuff now. Up 4, they'll try some.
They should have really drawn that possession out to a minute long. That's too early of a shot in that possession.
Well, he just got pushed.
Oh, they got a break.
I thought
they get it back.
Push from behind. That's when you take a dive as a midi running out there. Number 10, Griffin West, got hit by Noah Hahn from behind and chucked it instead of going down. Now they'll probably milk some clock here. 8-9 minutes to go. Lots of lacrosse time left, but Good Counsel cannot turn the ball over on clears like that. First midfield line out for Prep. Looks like Good Counsel staying in the zone. Here is Gallagher down the alley. Yeah, they're in the zone. A little bit more play of towards X, though. They weren't playing X at all.
I didn't see those cutters on that time through X, so I'd like to see that again.
Wide open for a rip there is Kaluzzi. He decides to pass it on to Gallagher, who's back at X. They're moving guys around different spots, and that's kind of opened up their creativity a little more.
Yeah, they're not as formulaic. Once they get into the flow of moving people around, it's better.
No angle shot there by Bowman. He's big. He must weigh 225. He was probably playing football in the fall at, what, 240 or 250, and now he's like 225. He'll pop back up. What is he playing football? Do we even know? What position?
I don't. He looks like a
tight end or
linebacker in college.
Yeah, well, maybe not Cuse. Forced inside again. A little impatient there. It's Good Counsel, a must-clear situation here.
Yeah, must clear, must score a goal too.
No 10-man ride by Prep, just a regular drop ride as you see it there. A little pressure from the attackman, and here they go. Whoa. Number 2, William Mackey, the quarterback, takes it with big Patrick Kelly on him. Got to go with Cruz, got to go with DeMarias, got to go with Hampton. One of them's going to have a shorty, and here it is, Cruz with the shorty. They're back to polling DeMarinas. Here he is. Little screen. Oh, good brush pick. Absolute rip. Chari picks it up nicely. Rez.
Really
feeds.
nice save by Chari.
Fast break. The other. Oh no, it's a 3-on-3. That was just Hahn up at the midline. I thought that was a midi. I don't know what that defenseman's doing, letting Hahn catch the ball in the outlets there. I think they're more concerned about getting back into the zone, which they already are.
Yeah, they want to get in that zone as quickly as possible. You know, 2 midfields out here, second midfield out here for Georgetown Prep. Let's see if they kill some clock this time.
I mean, last time this group scored, McAndrew had this young man right here, Colton McAndrew, had a sweet goal. Over to 22, Manfreda. Here is Calusi. He seems to be a little bit of a feeder that they don't have.
I think he can do a little bit of everything, which is why Coach Scott Urich likes him.
He's got some vision. I kind of like him at X back there. Prep needs one here. They got to go. Number 8, Jake Bendler with the ball over to Spar. Up to Hampton. Backside's open. Yeah, that was Mackey. Sorry. Now it's the Spar. Here's Hampton with the shorty on him. Number 4, Brett Cotton on him. Brett Cotton plays a lot for Prep. Oh, nice take.
Well, he stays on when the 2s are in. He stays in on defense, so it gives them versatile, offense to defense.
Looks like they're going to push on Prep, push him into the crease, give it back to Good Counsel. Will Mackey, Kelly on him. I mean, you got to try anything at this point. Mackey did get by Kelly in the first one, so he hasn't gone back to it. 8-4, 5:52 to go. Prep leads 8-4, fourth quarter. I'm Cabell Maddox. Thanks for joining us here with Matt Rienzo. They're going to reset the shot clock here. 80 seconds on the shot clock. That doesn't really matter to Good Counsel. They're not holding it at all. They're going right to the rack. And Spar's got a shorty. This is a nice sophomore here, Chase Spar, a lefty. Let's see if he gets a strong hand. Goes to his right, draws a slide inside to Jack Hampton. Goal. Nice goal there. Hampton from Spar. You like to see Good Counsel still fighting.
Chari got a piece of it, but unable to keep it. It trickled in. So nice possession by Good Counsel.
So 8-5 with 5:37. They show some life, but they're going to have to start winning these faceoffs, like they were in the first half.
Yeah, that's going to be critical if they're going to have a chance. They got to win this faceoff, and they got to win a few more.
So Hunter Manning, their Richmond commit, has taken every single faceoff today. He's about 49% of the season. Leo Fields, their second guy, hasn't taken one. He is 61% of the season. Now, it's probably not against the same level of competition, but they have another faceoff guy if Hunter can't get this win here. Looks like he got it. Nice play by, oh, what the heck did he do that for? Well, that was a moving pick. That was such a moving pick. They missed a moving pick right there.
I guess we'll give Good Counsel a faceoff win, although they didn't secure the ball.
He backhanded it just blindly.
I hate to see that. They had the ball in their stick with a chance to.
I have no idea why he backhanded it blindly. He could have run it back to the goalie, but then there was a miss, no call. Prep had the ball in their stick, and someone just destroyed a moving pick like a box lacrosse play. And Coach Smith saw it, and Coach Smith wanted the call, and the refs just ignored it. Blatant miss on a moving screen. Now they're going to sit on it. 45 seconds on the shot clock, 4:50 to go. They'll milk this down to about 4:10 before they go. 8-5 Prep. First midfield line out here. Good Counsel still in that zone. I guess you could play zone more anyways because of the shot clock era.
That's true. I mean, you're definitely going to be forced to get a shot at some point.
This Good Counsel needs the next goal. Cannot give up another one. Go down 4 again. Big save here needed. Oh, he got a face on that. I think they hit his face mask.
It looked like it might have. I'll give him a save for that one.
Oh, that's a push. Oh, man. Great ground ball there by Adamson. Back to Calusi. Calusi comes around, shot, save, another save, shot, save, another
That's
save.
off the post.
And we got a foul. Flag down. on Good Counsel, off ball. Haven't been a lot of fouls in this game. That's too bad, but give Penzi 3 saves on that little sequence there.
Yeah, I give him 2. And look for Georgetown Prep to get this all the way down to 0 on the shot clock.
Why is this trainer coming on?
There's a player down in the corner.
Oh, way over there. He's off the field.
And
actually, he got pushed. I saw that, and they no-called that.
That's interesting, though, because Georgetown Prep had the ball, and they could have wasted 40 seconds before they went man up. And now they've blown the whistle to stop play, so the extra man begins. So Georgetown Prep lost the ability to waste 40 seconds on the clock. And I'm not saying that was the wrong call. The refs, I think, have to make that. They have to blow the whistle if you're down on the defensive end, yes?
I think if the Prep is not advancing to the goal, then the refs have the ability to call it. But if they're advancing, they should not ever blow the whistle. But he got pushed right there. I'm watching the replay. He got pushed from behind. He did not get back up. And it was just a straight push from behind. He's just cramping, by the way, if you're mom at home. For Greg Van Newkirk, if you're a grandma, he's fine. He's just cramping up in the legs. He's walking off, and he'll be back in hopefully quickly. But now they're man down, and the clock is rolling. No, it's not. 3:49 to go, 8-5 Prep. Man up.
Full time, 1 minute. Full time serve, so it's not releasable.
Second man up of the day. That's it for Prep. And I have 0 man ups for Good Counsel. Is that possible?
It's possible.
Dude, zero man ups, no fouls on Prep. Man, that must be.
They're playing clean, I guess.
Yeah. They're just gonna milk it here. 51 seconds on the shot clock. That's smart. 3:35 to go.
Yeah, it's a good strategy by Georgetown Prep. Just wind it down to 15 seconds or so, then try and get a goal.
We'll start thinking about the MVPs of the game here. We're going to give those awards after the game, so stick with us. Both teams have had great performances. We have given MVPs. Ooh, skip pass there by Hahn. 26 is out there. His first action of the day. That is Ryan Antisberger. And then Bowman scores. Who fed him? Number 10, James Crowley. Looks like they have some man-up specialists here. James Crowley.
Well, and I was looking down at the roster. Antisberger's, a lefty, which is why he's in there.
Same with Crowley. Crowley's a lefty too. They both went in for their first action of the game, and I believe number 10, Crowley, got the assist.
We'll see it on the replay here in the booth.
I think Crowley got the assist. James Crowley, the sophomore attackman.
Big goal for Georgetown Prep there.
That's enough to seal it right there, I think, on the EMO goal.
Certainly close, and then a face-off win for Prep. Oh, almost. Spoke too soon. They had it.
Who got that goal, by the way? Was that 2? Was that
Bowman?
That was Bowman? He's got a lot of goals, by the way.
Oh, nice block by Lane.
Took a face shot there.
Oh, nice double by Georgetown Prep by Patrick Kelly.
Good Counsel needs this one. Scoop, shot, save Chari. Give Chari another save. These goalies, these freshmen have proven why they are starting in one of the strongest lacrosse hotbeds in the country. We'll go over those stats later, but man, both goalies have well into double digits. 10-man now from Good Counsel. Looks a little chaotic. Hahn comes up and just gets the pass and splits a double. 2 minutes to go in the game, even.
Good clear there by Georgetown Prep during a 10-man ride in a critical fourth quarter possession. They broke all the middies down. They also broke an attackman up. So well done there by Georgetown Prep to clear the ball.
Putting the second midfield line out here, showing a lot of confidence in them is Coach Urich, giving them game experience here with under 2 minutes to go and a 4-goal lead. Pretty comfortable lead. They're just going to sit on it. Here's Colton McAndrew inverted versus Jackson Manning. Switch back to Hahn. He's got a shorty. That's a great pick. Just get the
good design.
Switch.
Good play design. Now you've got a shorty on the best player on the field.
He won't even go to the goal. There's 15 seconds at the shot clock. Does he even go? Or
At 10 seconds, he'll probably go. There's no point not to.
I would just throw it out of bounds. Get in the ride. Wide open backside is Rex.
Oh, what a save!
What a save.
Unbelievable. It was a right-handed twister by Adamson, but an incredible save.
By Penzi. I mean, that's got to be 15 at least. We'll get that later. Quick clear. Oh, this could be a collision. Nice no play there. I thought Matt Bowers was going to blow him up. Timeout, Good Counsel, 33. Who is that? Luke McGlone up on Spar. McGlone's done a nice job. He's quietly one of the better defenders in the area.
Yeah, he's a good player.
You don't mention his name much, but usually that's a sign that your guy's not scoring.
Well, he's not flashy. He's relatively a position defender, which is good. He has good feet. He doesn't get beat very often, so he's very sound on defense.
So talking about some stats here, it looks like Bowman's got 1-2 goals for Prep, 55.
I've got
Lutz has 1. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I've got Zach Chari for eight saves and Penzi for Good Counsel at 14.
Sheesh.
And Georgetown Prep is taking the edge with the faceoffs by a few at this point. Really turning the tide in the fourth quarter.
So great performances there by Penzi and also Cruz. Dylan Cruz has a hat trick for the losing team here at Good Counsel. I mean, there's no denying that he is a candidate for MVP of the game. It is Cruz. Who do you think the best player for Prep has been? And that's tough to say because they spread the wealth on the scoring. The face-off guys did okay until the fourth, and then they dominated.
Yeah, I mean, it's been hard with the offense being the way that it's been with the
Hahn
zone.
has 2. Yeah. Bowman has 2.
They're
Gallagher
they've
has
got 9 goals, so Gallagher has how many?
1. Lutz has 1.
Oh, nice play by Lane.
Lane's having a good game. We got to give the most physical defender award too if it pops. Chari just bombs it 30 seconds to go. Down to 0. Here's Kaluzzi. 0 is Parker Lee. Penzi picks it up but loses it, and then Adamson gets it. The whole attack is back for both teams. Both teams have all underclassmen in attack. So good sign for both these teams, young offenses. Prep's gonna run it out. That is Jack Mundy, and a quality win here in the DMVLAX Game of the Week. It was 4-4, and then Prep went on a tear to score 4 straight to take an 8-4 lead and hold on to a 9-5 final here at Good Counsel.
The scoring did open up at the end.
You were right, yeah. I didn't think there was going to be a pop, but there was a little bit of a pop for Prep, and they got those zone goals, which they couldn't. They got some zone buster goals finally, and were able to figure it out late and win face-offs, and that was the key to victory for them. So congratulations to Coach Urich and his staff, and the Little Hoyas are now on a three-game winning streak, and I know they're ranked number 4 in the area, and number 3, St. John's just lost. So you got to expect Prep, if they can hold on. They have a tough game against Episcopal on Friday. And it should be mentioned, we're going to be back in the DMVLAX Game of the Week at Landon next week. Gonzaga travels to Landon, so that's going to be 5 versus 2. Looking forward to that matchup.
Another cross-conference rivalry.
Yeah, Matt Rienzo and I will call that game. Let's give the MVP award here. First, I think from Good Counsel, it has to be Dylan Cruz. And then from Georgetown Prep, what's the call? Man, I'm putting the pressure on you.
I mean, it was a balanced win for Georgetown.
I actually thought that Bowman played really well. He does so many things between the lines. I thought that Dylan Behrens, the D-Midi, played really well.
Mundy played great also, D-Midi.
Mundy played
Why don't we give it to the rope unit? We'll just give it to both Behrens and Mundy.
Behrens and Mundy, I love it.
The rope unit never gets any love.
We'll do it because, they played good D. They only allowed 5 goals.
We'll do it because we can.
Yeah, totally. We can, and they actually played great. And they played. They only allowed 5 goals, so we're proud of the way Mundy, a senior, and Behrens, a sophomore, played. So congrats to them. Congrats to Dylan Cruz on being named MVP. Defensive Physical Player of the Day award. Anything pop out? We don't have to give it, but I thought Jason Lane was physical.
Yeah, I'd give it to him. He had a couple nice plays.
I thought Laner deserves that for sure. So congrats to those guys. Thanks for joining us here at the DMVLAX Game of the Week, presented and sponsored by DC Electrical Alliance. We will see you on Monday night at Bordley Stadium for a WCAC.
That's going to be a good one.
It's going to be fun. Take care.
Money, power, I'm big. And I feel it.